I think according our own experience, if you think, try to investigate, as I briefly mentioned yesterday. Look, where's I? This body? Sometimes, or one my scientist friend one time mentioned the soul. Those people who believe soul, they eventually find it a little difficult when they study very detailed about the brain. Then there is no central authority. So actually that scientist, not Buddhist, I don't know whether believer or not, I don't know. Most probably non-believer, essentially. So he mentioned somehow he knows some idea about Buddhist sort of no self. So then he mentioned, according their finding, the Buddhist concept, no soul, is more easier. He mentioned like that. So if you I mean, there's possibility somewhere in the brain, some location, self could be there, but there's none. Then mind, yes, like many Indian masters say, believe, or mind, among the mind, there is self. So then investigate. Sensorial mind? No. Because at the dream level or at deep sleep, no sensorial mind function actively, so still being there. So then also we have the obvious experience. When we saw something, naturally we feel I saw. With that feeling, we usually call my eye. Through my eye, I saw. Through my ear, I heard. So there is real
So when we experience these kind of sights, we tend to feel that I saw this and I heard it. So we assume that apart from the physical senses, apart from the senses through which we see, there is a seer.
So then, sixth mind. Sixth mind, again, a waking state, then dreaming state, then deep sleep state. I still there. Faint, remain unconscious. We usually describe this person now unconscious. So person still there. If you kill, if they destroy that person's body, then yes, there's case of murder. So that means there's a person. Self is there. But as far as even sixth conscious, unconscious, not active. So then further, at the time of dissolution of our mind, after the breathing stop, heart beating stop, the brain function within short moment will cease, will stop or die. So the people who have some experience, then after death, clinically death, but still body remain very fresh, including my senior tutor, 13 days after clinically death, his body remained fresh. So our explanation is the subtle mind still in the body. So now that subtle mind, is it self? No. The subtle mind, a certain period active, remain active, in a certain period inactive. But as I, but
how, so for example, one can speak about the fact of this subtle mind being sometimes. So one can speak about this subtle state of mind becoming manifest in the sense of consciousness, or remain unmanifest with no consciousness on the part of the individual. However, so far as the continuity of the individual, the person is concerned, we cannot say the person is here and the person is not present there.
So then, very difficult to pinpoint among the subtle mind, this is self, this is I. So therefore, there is no nothing to identify as I, whether part of our body, whether part of our mind. Then still, there must be I. I'm here, I'm speaking, I'm Buddhist, I'm Tibetan, I'm a human being. No argument. So I is still there. The owner, and also we have the feeling, I. It's correct. And my mind, my body, owns by that I. It's true. But if you, without investigation, there is no argument, no disagreement, I is there. But if you investigate, we cannot find. That means, 마다 맞아버리 타녀성도 여봐 마도 당시 째는 두대지 말했어.
So what this indicates is that the reality or the existence of I can only be established within a framework which is unanalyzed and unexamined. So within this broad framework, however, if you were to go beyond that and search for some kind of objective essence, then they all turn out to be unfindable.
As Shantadeva mentioned, like a hand, all these parts combine all.
Together, no. Combined.
Then gone, so the leg,
hand
is there. But if you investigate, which is real hand? This one, no. We cannot find. A finger, also this part, we cannot find. And also like flower, color, shape, material, all these, color of the flower, shape of the flower, material of the flower. So what is the real flower? Beside color, beside shape, beside material. No real substance of flower. So like that, human I, beside body, mind, we cannot find. That does not mean without sushi, yip, the kado, gyuja serejele,
So as a result of not finding the flower, when you search for it in terms of its color, shape, configuration, its material and so on, we do not conclude therefore the flower doesn't exist. Because if you say the flower doesn't exist, then the basis, the thing itself wouldn't exist, in which case then you cannot then talk about the color of the flower, shape of the flower, the material of the flower and so on.
And also, this morning I mentioned present time, no present time, if you analyze. But without analyze, broadly speaking, there is present. So now that is the way, without analyze, self is there. So now here, the feeling of I is very important. There's some kind of sense of strong self is very, very necessary. Now, particularly when we engage some of our emotion, fight with, combat with some of our emotion, you need feeling of strong self in order to develop will, in order to develop determination, in order to develop self-confidence. Sense of strong self is very, very necessary. These are all on conventional level. Two truths.
So this relates to the teaching on the two truths. You have the conventional level of truth and ultimate level of truth.
Particularly like Bodhisattva, the determined, say, one's own sort of presence or existence, totally benefit to infinite sentient being. In order to develop that kind of infinite altruism, it is highly necessary self-confidence. Here you need strong sense of strong self. Clear? So that's about the meaning of emptiness. Anyone who seriously thinking using these things and analyze, eventually you get some sort of certain experience. Of course, my own sort of experience is very, very limited, very small, but better than nothing. a little experience. So when I remember about sort of these Nagarjunas or those great philosophers sort of reasoning, there is no independent existence. And while there is some memory, where? Memory is all better. Remember,
and then while I'm aware, so while I'm aware of these reasoning,
now, at the moment, some kind of feeling of nothingness, that kind of appearance. So that suppose, I think, come to nearer the absence of independent existence from the object side. So when, for example, when I think, where's I? Nothing. Particularly when I look on my own body, oh, where is the I? And also check my mind. The answer, no, nowhere. So some kind of empty, that kind of feeling. So with that feeling, while keeping that feeling, then when look, you see people, yes, appearance there, appearance of independent existence there, but then because of some sort of experience, some feeling, so these become then mirage. Right?
Like a mirage.
Or let me do those. So it no immediate sort of effect on emotion, but seems gradually some impact in our emotion, negative emotion, because every negative emotion very much based on our appearances. So appearances is something independently existent. So we take for granted this is true. So there is absolute good and absolute bad. So that act as a ground of our negative emotion. So that gradually loosening. Then the grasping feeling, somehow, the chikko ngaro chemato chapdime de suchi.
So then you get a sense that although the emotions, when they arise, they have a certain degree of intensity, but they are lacking any support. There is nothing behind it.
So that's the, I think, the purpose or meaning of practice of or meditation on shunyata,
On emptiness.
emptiness, like that.